of an organization. Which brings us now to the nerve center of corporate Sri Lanka, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission that maintains a collective, watchful eye on prudence and best practice in governance, transparency, and performance, of course. And Mr. Viraj Dayaratne is the incumbent chairman of the commission. His background has been with the law, and he served as visiting judge of the Court of Appeal of the Republic of Fiji and an adjudicator of the panel of adjudicators of the Asian International Arbitration Center in Malaysia. And he has also functioned as a visiting lecturer in arbitration at the Sri Lanka Law College.
He was Additional Solicitor General in January 2020 when he took up the position as the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka. He is an alumnus of the University of Wales, where he read for his master's in trade law, and also of the University of Colombo. Mr. Dayaratne.
President CMA Sri Lanka, Professor Lakshman Watavala, SAFA President and Vice President CMA Sri Lanka, Mr. Hennayaka Bandara, CSC CEO Rajiv Bandaranayaka, members of the Governing Council of CMA Sri Lanka, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I wish to thank Professor Watavala and CMA Sri Lanka for inviting me for the CMA Excellence in Integrated Reporting Awards 2021. And it is my pleasure to be here this evening and celebrate the achievements of corporates for their excellence in integrated reporting. First and foremost, let me commend CMA Sri Lanka for having taken the initiative several years ago and for continuing to recognize organizations for their excellence in integrated reporting in keeping with the vision of the International Integrated Reporting Council, the IIRC, the global coalition of regulators, investors, companies, standard setters, the accounting profession, and non-governmental organizations. Integrated reporting will ensure the demonstration of value created by organizations, taking into consideration not only the accounting and financial information, but non-financial information which should benefit investors as well as stakeholders. Such a report will explain to providers of financial capital as to how an entity creates value over time. It will spell out the linkages between an organization's strategy, governance and financial performance, and the social, environmental, and economic context within which the entity operates. As you know, integrated reports are evaluated using guidelines contained in the International Integrated Reporting Framework with special reference to strategic focus and future orientation, connectivity of information, value creation, reliability, and completeness. Sound governance measures have become more important today as companies need to align their businesses to cater to the fast-changing environment, particularly with regard to digitalization and competitiveness driven by fintech. As you all are aware, information plays a crucial role in financial markets and particularly in capital markets, and the disclosure of material information by listed entities is intrinsically linked to corporate governance. In fact, in the long run, good corporate governance will be rewarding, since it will attract more investors who would be inclined to invest capital in such companies based on the information that has been disclosed. It goes without saying that the requirement to make full disclosure of material information is the most important means by which investor protection can be ensured, since it enables investors to assess the potential risks and rewards of their investment. Particularly at a time like this, a duty is cast on corporates to make known the impact of present challenges on their operating performance, financial position, liquidity, as well as future prospects by utilizing the different methods of reporting. It is heartening to note that companies are embracing different methods of reporting, and integrated reporting is one such method that is fast becoming popular. Although there are no legislative or other compulsions for organizations to prepare integrated reports, over the past 6 years, an overwhelming number of companies, both listed and unlisted, as well as private and governmental institutions, have applied for CMA Excellence in Integrated Reporting Awards. This is testimony not only to the acceptance of this method of reporting by Sri Lanka's business community, but the importance they attach to this competition. The SEC, as the statutory regulator of the capital market, has brought about sound regulatory framework by which listed companies are required to make timely and accurate disclosures. This is in keeping with its objective of maintaining a level playing field and striking a balance between investor protection and ensuring the flexibility that is required to maintain a thriving capital market. Every effort is taken to monitor corporate entities who do not reasonably disclose material information, as the Commission and its regulations are grounded on the principle of transparency, together with discipline and accountability is expected to ensure the efficiency of the capital market and the practice of good corporate governance. Having said this, ladies and gentlemen, I stress upon the need for a supportive corporate culture which would value the importance of timely and accurate disclosures as much as we as regulators do. Professor Watavala, just as your endeavor gives recognition to corporates for the high standards they have adopted in integrated reporting, it is also important to look at areas that are in need of improvement and add more value. In the near future, Sri Lanka too will have to take steps to improve ESG disclosures by requiring all companies to include in their reports information pertaining to the discharge of their social and environmental responsibilities. Like many other countries, Sri Lanka too can look at the possibility of introducing an ESG index that aims to highlight companies with strong ESG compliance. Such an index would assist investors in making their investment decisions, promote sustainability, and encourage efficient and transparent ESG reporting. This is just one example demonstrating the scope of improvement in the area of financial reporting. Ladies and gentlemen, transparency, discipline, and accountability are key contributors to market efficiency and in turn are of paramount importance to the provision of robust corporate governance that is necessary for stable markets and investor confidence. The challenge for us regulators and policymakers is to establish a framework within which transparency, market discipline, and corporate governance can interact in a positive and coherent way that strengthens market integrity and economic performance, and the SEC will take every effort to achieve this objective. Let me conclude by congratulating tonight's winners and CMA Sri Lanka, since it is to the benefit of markets and those endeavors that these endeavors are recognized and rewarded. We look forward to closer collaboration between CMA Sri Lanka and the SEC to uphold the quality of markets, and wish you all a very pleasant evening.